You listen to VGM Awesome on BritishRadio.org.uk. I am MattVV and I'm joined with co-presenter
JonoD. Hello,
Jono.
my loyal subjects.
How are you, my good friend? How are you, my good friend, John?
I be alive and I be well. Thank you very much,
Good.
MattVV.
I'm excited, John.
Oh, why are you excited?
Well, every week I'm always a little bit excited.
Well, of course.
But my little bit, the definition of little bit for me is quite different from, say, the next person.
Right, okay.
Because I get excited about cellos. Of course. But no, Jono, we are, of course, today's our third and final VGM special.
It's a VGM special, is it?
We began with 20 years of Sonic.
Yes.
We began with 10 years of Halo.
No, we continued with...
Oh, sorry, we continued, yes. And today, we're going to end our specials with a Final Fantasy special.
Huge, a lot of people consider it a JRPG, which is a Japanese role-playing game. Yeah, it pretty much defined the standard for what we would expect from a role-playing game nowadays. Big, of course, is Final Fantasy VII. Then, of course, you've got all the big releases. We had Final Fantasy XIII most recently.
Yeah, 14's in production at the moment, I think,
14's in production. I think they actually announced that one just before Final Fantasy XIII actually came out.
Bit of a back-to-back, that one, yeah.
Bit of a back-to-back, that one, yep.
Final Fantasy, I mean, any gamer who is...
they'd at least have heard of it. Yes,
they would have heard of Final Fantasy for sure. But it's one of those franchises that it's just stood the test of time. Funnily enough, when it first came about back in the 80s, 87 I think it was, when the first one came out, it was their last-ditch attempt. It was Square's last-ditch attempt at a video game. The company wasn't doing very, very well.
Really?
No, yeah, they weren't doing it very well, and that's why they called it Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
It was like our final chance at saving our company. So, you know, they put together this, you know, this fantasy epic, you know, with sorcery, magic, big quests, adventures, you know, a really, really good battle system as well, which kind of revolutionised games at the time. And yeah, they stuck it out there, and it did quite well.
Apparently so.
Apparently so. It did.
Apparently it did well enough to warrant another 14 games.
And countless spin-offs.
And spin-offs and movies. On the subject of movies, we've got our special guest coming back in a bit later on. We got Boomstick coming in to tell us some more about some movie magic.
Yes, and even he is going down the special route today. He's going to be reviewing, not the newest movies, but Final Fantasy Advent Children, which came out in 2005, I believe, which is the direct sequel to Final Fantasy VII, in the shape of an animated CGI movie. And if you haven't seen it, see it, because it is amazing. And also Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, which came out in 2001 as well. And also Crofty's back. Jono, he's bringing some depth to the table today, isn't he?
He's bringing some more depth into the table. We should have some heated debate here in the studio.
I reckon so. What is he going to be talking about today?
Today he's going to be talking about the Final Fantasy series and generally where it's been headed for these past few years.
Yeah, he's going to sort of talk about, is it the rise and fall? I don't know. I mean, the Final Fantasy series has, I think it's certainly maybe lost a bit of popularity in recent years because they're kind of going through a transitionary stage. They're kind of trying new things, but trying to remain true to the original series as well. But there's a lot of good RPGs out there, things like Mass Effect, Fallout 3, that's just two big hitters, you know. They're bringing new things to the table, and they have to compete to maintain their popularity. Final Fantasy music is just renowned for its beauty, its grace, its power.
That's right.
Its emotional impact. Mr. Nobuo Uematsu-san. He is a god in my eyes. Let's just mention very quickly, actually, we've got some special tracks coming up on the Final Fantasy notes from a very talented composer who I'm sure is listening, Hexagram Zendraven, a.k.a. Gavin Fry. He's a very, very talented remixer, composer, doing a lot of contemporary stuff. But he has allowed us to, or has sent us two Final Fantasy remixes to play a bit later on. First one's going to come up, I think, just before our Retro Metro at 9 o'clock, Jono.
Our Retro Metro at 9 o'clock. I cannot wait. It is my favourite part of the show.
You almost sang that then.
It's my favourite part of the show.
It was my favourite part of the show at 9 o'clock, or whatever. It's that time.
What time is it, man?
Well, it's a Monday.
It is a Monday.
It's a Monday night. And on Monday nights, it's VGM Awesome Night.
That is very true. From 8 until 10.
8 until 10. I'm MattVV.
And I am JonoD.
We are your VGM disciples. Tonight, celebrating one of the best franchises ever.
Bye.
Final Fantasy! Indeed, we are celebrating and paying tribute to arguably one of the most famous video game franchises and series to date, spanning 3 decades? Almost 3 decades, 2 decades, I don't know,
Getting
since
close.
87. Nobuo Uematsu, we salute you. You are some guy. You are some guy and some composer. John.
Yes.
High fives.
Love it.
Indeed. Did you know?
Did I know?
Did you know? Nobuo Uematsu, who for certainly the first 10 Final Fantasy games was the main composer, and after that he then sort of dipped in and out because they started to kind of go through redevelopment and they had lots of other composers come in.
Right.
But, did you know?
Did I know? It's not
He
cello,
was,
but okay.
no, it's not cello. He was, or is, sorry, a massive Elton John fan.
Really?
He is a massive Elton John fan. He learned to play the piano without any official theoretical sort of teachings.
Okay.
So he learned to play, I guess, rock piano, and he wanted to be a rock star. Nobuo Uematsu, even more interestingly enough, is a massive pro wrestling fan.
Okay.
And wanted to be a pro wrestler over music. Music was actually never even in his vocabulary.
In his line of interest,
yeah,
was
it wasn't any line of interest whatsoever. That is not what he wanted to do.
Okay, so
And now he's ended up being one of the most famous
video game music
composers ever.
It's a career change, isn't it?
It is. Elton John tribute, pro wrestler. No, I compose music for games. Makes sense.
VGM awesome. It's awesome.